My name's Damien Edwards. So I've been in construction for about 20 years now, a little bit more if you count the messes I made in DC as a youth. Um, Navy veteran. I currently work for one of the top luxury home builders in the country as a area production manager. So I have a large geographic area. I started Builder Tactics, which is an educational website specifically for construction managers, aspiring construction managers, superintendents, and trade workers. I also have a podcast called the Construction Management Podcast that is designed to educate and promote the career field of construction management, both for superintendents and trade managers. I also wrote a book called Builder Tactics, a practical guide to construction management. And I'm in the process of writing another book on stress management for the construction trades. There is so much to construction in general. So if you don't, let's say you're a supervisor for an HVAC company. Well, you're not just a techie. You're not just working to install that HVAC system. You're in management. You're in leadership. You're in customer service. And then there's a technical aspect of your job. So the thing that really inspired me, I looked around and I saw, so I'm a lifelong learner, constantly learning new things, constantly going to school. I also teach at a community college, construction management. So as a lifelong learner, I'm constantly trying to improve myself. And in that process, I was like, you know what? There's got to be a podcast out there so I can take up some of my time while I'm driving from job site to job site and learn. And I couldn't find one that was entertaining, right? So I was like, I'm going to create my own. And in the process of creating my own, I realized that there are so many people out there that are looking for that same kind of continuous education and professionalism. So people are like, hey, I work in a trade, but I'm not getting the kind of respect that I think I should get. Can you help me? So I started getting all these people reaching out to me saying, hey, how can I do this? How can I do that? So the whole concept kind of evolved from trying to educate myself to filling a need to help other people find the education that they're looking for. And really it turned into a mission to elevate not just construction managers or superintendents, but trades in general, because there's a huge lack of qualified tradespeople out there, huge lack. Because we've been fed this as a society, and I don't get all preachy, but we were kind of fed this lie or this misinterpretation that, hey, if you don't go get a 4-year degree, you're never going to make anything of yourself. That is not true. I have a ton of people that I work with that never went to school and make a ton of money because they're proficient in their trade. They've got the technical skills and they're making, $150, $200 an hour to go out and do work on somebody's house. So anyway, the whole thing kind of evolved, and now I'm just kind of on a mission to help elevate the entire construction industry from the laborers to the CEOs, because I really feel like it's an underrated profession if you're in the trades or you're a superintendent or that sort of thing. Maybe college isn't for you. That's fine. That's great. Go to a trade school. Take a year off and work in the trades and see if you really like it as much as you think you do, because it's tough. Working in the trades is hard. You're in the elements. It's freezing. It's hot. It's raining. It's windy. And some days it's beautiful and 70 degrees and sunny. So I always tell them, look, if that's what you want to do, spend some time doing it or get a part-time job. Most trade companies, especially now since labor is so difficult to find, will say, oh, you want to go to school? No problem. Go to school 2-3 days a week. Come work for me 2 days a week. And then you're really going to find, is this something I love to do? Or is this I'm just trying to avoid all that homework? I'm a big proponent of trade schools. I love them. I think they're awesome. I think they're underutilized by kids out there today. I really do. So when people tell me, hey, I don't want to go to college, I want to go to a trade school, I'm like, do it. You can always go back later. I did. Only took me 10 years to graduate. It's awesome because you're working outside. You don't have a cubicle. You're going to stay relatively in shape longer. You're going to make a great living. And there's there's a real sense of freedom when you are going from job site to job site. You're going there. You're building something. You can step back and look at that. It's amazing. You can tell people about it. So I'll give you an example. Early on in my career, I got into IT. And I couldn't, I spent all day long banging on a keyboard. And at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, what have I done? I don't know. Can't see it. When I build something, it's there. It's a monument to the work that I've done. I drive by communities that I've built all the time, and I'm like, I did that. So, I'm like, kids, look, I did that. And they're like, I don't care. But it's there. It's going to be there until somebody knocks it down. And I've built, 12-story mid-rises, apartment buildings, retail stores, beautiful homes, and they're all still standing. So when you get into the trades, your work is there to see. It's either functional, you can use it. You go to a water fountain, you turn the nozzle, water comes out. You did that. There's really something to be said for standing back and being able to see what you've done for the day. So, and I think, I'm passionate about it. I think the people that get into trades, that's what they want. They want to be able to see the work that they've done. And it's powerful. Your appearance needs to reflect the position you want, not the position you have. It's kind of a cliche. People say, oh, dress for the job you want, not the one you have. But it's true. If you want to take your job to the next level, or you want to be a professional, like your manager is always wearing a collared shirt and you're wearing a t-shirt and you want to be a manager, get rid of the t-shirt, put a collared shirt on, because it just shows a commitment to what you're doing, a commitment to your goals. And it shows that you want to take that next step. You can be the professional person that you believe you are, and you want other people to believe it as well. It's all about branding. If you want to be a Mercedes, don't dress like a Yugo. You know what I mean? If you want to be that manager, you need to exude management appearance and skills. So it really starts with you. If you want to take your career to the next level, you need to act like it. I know a ton of guys that say, oh, I want to be the boss. But when it comes time to doing bossing stuff, they're not interested. Or when they see, people being unsafe, it's not my problem. Well, if you're the boss, that is your problem. So you need to kind of take it upon yourself to show people that you can be the leader that you want to be, or that you say that you want to be, if you want it. I mean, I've promoted more people because of their attitudes and the way they present themselves, and held people back because of the way, for the exact same thing. So if you want to take your career to the next level, it's about branding and attitude. If you're going to be the leader, you need to be the example. As the leader, you need to take everything seriously. So I'll give you an example. If I walk onto a job site, I wear my hard hat. It's uncomfortable. It's hot. It's horrible. But I wear it because I expect other people to wear it. So as a leader, you need to be the example. You need to be the example of what you expect from everyone else. There's nothing worse than having somebody out on the job say, you go do this, and then they're doing the exact opposite, because that's not leadership. If you're in a management position or a leadership role, you need to be the leader that you want to be, or that you expect, or that your people expect. And also you need to educate yourself. There's a ton of different leadership styles out there. And it's important that if you're placed in a leadership role, you need to understand human nature. You need to understand how to lead people. You need to understand when you can be flexible and when you need to follow the people. I have guys all the time. I'll say, we're going to do A, B, and C. And one of my construction managers will say, you've been out of the field too long. This is how it's done. And I sit down like, okay. And it's my turn to follow them because they are the expert now. Even though they still work for me, I'm following them because that's what leaders do. You have to lead sometimes, you have to follow other times, and you need to understand the difference. The most important thing, lead by example and listen to your people. If I want to research something, or if there's a skill I feel like I need to learn more about, I just Google it. I see what's up. I go to iTunes University, see if there's a free class or free college classes, lectures on every subject you can think of. You just got to download it. It's free. But I go to Google, let me find some resources. There's a ton of websites out there, and don't just go to one. Go to one, see if you like the flavor of that website. If you don't, find another one. And leadership's a great example. There's thousands of resources out there on leadership. There's building science is another one. I wanted to increase my skills on building science because I felt like, this is years ago, I felt like I didn't understand how everything went together, how these structures functioned as a whole rather than their individual pieces. And I would just go to bookstores, find books, read them. I'd Google, how does this work? How does what's fenestration rate through a building assembly, or whatever. There's all kinds of stuff out there. How does the different insulation work? So I would say the biggest resource is Google, and it's free. Attitude is everything. If you want to be successful, it doesn't matter what your career. If you're a doctor, a lawyer, an electrician, construction manager, a bus driver, if you want to be successful, you got to have a great attitude, because nobody cares about your bad attitude, right? If you got a great attitude, people want to be around you, and people want to be led by people that inspire them. So if you really want to get into the trades and you really want to be successful in your career, have a great attitude. Start with yourself, have a positive outlook on things, and spread it around, because, it's contagious. Attitudes are contagious. And if you are the kind of person that people want to have around, your career will take off, because they're going to say, you know what? I love this guy. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great work ethic. I want him to be around. I want him to be part of my crew. I want him to lead my crew. I want him to lead my company. And customers will call you back. They'll say, hey, I want you to send, that guy with the great attitude back here, not, the gray cloud you sent over here last time. So the one piece of advice I can give to anybody, no matter what their career is starts with you. Have a great attitude, and sky's the limit for you.